You guys, I'm upset. This game hates me. I meant to do a villager hunt. I wanted to do a villager hunt. I was primed for a villager hunt. I had picked out Dreamies for the peppy, normal, and lazy villager hunt for the first 3 house plots. I opened up my game. I had not time traveled. I stayed on the same day. Maybe I went back like an hour or something. I don't know. I didn't look at the time when I last finished. All 3 plots were sold. Granted, I don't mind Apple. I like Tia. Spork I can do without, but whatever. I don't understand how this happened. I stopped playing on November 30th. I went to November 30th. I don't know what happened here, and I am really pissed at this game for doing this to me. I have so many Nook Miles tickets in my storage. I guess I can just use them again for another hunt. However, in the future, when these 3 guys leave, we're gonna get villagers that I want off of a treasure island. I was really looking forward to doing the first big villager hunt for this island, getting some cute wintry villagers. I almost wanted to quit. Like, I almost wanted to delete this island and restart. I mean, it wouldn't have really been the end of the world. We wouldn't have lost a whole lot of progress here, but the fact that like the plots just sold immediately like that, this is probably my own fault, because I know that you can go for Nook Miles hunts, like to find villagers, as soon as you have that free Nook Miles ticket at the airport. I should have just done that, and I should have been doing that the whole time that we were playing here, up until the time that I built the plots, so then they would have been sold, instead of whatever nonsense this game did to me. Has this ever happened to you? And if so, do you know what the cause of it is? Because I don't, and I don't think I'm ever gonna get over this. This island was cursed. Also, I was so close to getting the Cast Master card, like completing it. I had 95 fish out of 100 in a row that I had caught, and stupid me, I missed a fish, meaning that now I have to work my way back up to complete the Cast Master card. Really? Seriously, I considered nuking this whole entire island and just starting from the beginning again. However, now that the holidays are over, I am looking forward to doing more of a wintry build here. Not as much Christmassy. Like I had said, this is definitely going to be like a winter island. We have a bunch of cute DIYs that we can start making and putting around here. And we're also at the point in the storyline where after all the villagers have moved in, resident services is going to be upgraded to a building. And Mabel visited enough times where I was able to build Able Sisters, which was really great. So we have that going for us. I guess that like it's not the end of the world. Things are not terrible. However, I don't know what happened with the whole villager hunting thing. Like, I don't know why those plots just automatically filled up. Not a whole lot has been going on. The holidays are over. Today, when I'm recording this, it's January 6th. I hope that you guys have had a good holiday season. I know today, right now, here is Little Christmas. I do not celebrate that. I know some people who do because of their cultures. Typically, we leave our tree up until around now in the beginning of January. I am still up in the Northeast and I'm going to be for the next few weeks. It was like 6 degrees Fahrenheit here today, so that sucked. And there wasn't any snow. Meanwhile, my boyfriend went back to DC last night. He woke up to like a foot of snow on the ground at least. And I don't know if you guys live in the DC area. I don't, but like I'm under the impression that they don't have a lot of resources and funding available to do a good plow job on the roads, because he said that he hadn't even seen plows going by. The only cars that were out were like the city buses and stuff, and the roads didn't look like they had been plowed from the photos that he had sent me. So I don't know. I know in Southern Virginia, where I am half the year currently until I move back up to Massachusetts, they do not have the funding or resources to plow because it doesn't really snow there. Much like in the DC area, like when it does snow, they kind of just shut everything down because it can snow like for a foot like they have now, and they don't have the resources to do anything about it. So everybody's out of school, work is closed. However, important congressional things must still happen. I don't know. It's just like a whole thing. I would be much happier with the cold here if we actually were having snow, like if it was actively snowing right now, or if there was snow on the ground, but there isn't. They said that we might get some toward the end of the week, but it depends on which way this model goes. I guess like one of the models that they were looking at for Boston weather at least said that there is a chance of a nor'easter. The other model said we're not getting anything. So honestly, at this point, I have no idea. I would just like to see some more snow on the ground before I go back down to the mid-Atlantic for the next few months. But if I don't, it's not the end of the world. I just wish that like it wasn't 6 degrees out. And again, like I'm not freezing. Like, you know, the house is heated, everything is warm. I'm warm and toasty. But another thing that I don't understand. Okay, so the holidays are over, right? Holiday clothing is done. All of like the holiday stuff is on sale, like the cozy winter stuff, whatever. But there's no comfy fleece pajamas, at least not that I can find anywhere. I own one pair of comfy fleece pajamas. It's like a matching pants and top set that I have that my aunt gave me several years ago to match my cousins, like myself and my 3 cousins who are all also girls. We all got the same pajamas. It was cute. I still wear them mainly when I'm up here in the Northeast because it's cold and I like to be toasty at night. However, you would think that like because it's still winter for the next couple of months and because it's still ridiculously cold out that there would be other warm options to choose from in the stores. There are not. I've looked everywhere. I even like went to Target physically today. Target historically does not have the greatest selection of clothing in my humble opinion. I like their stuff for like housewares and their groceries aren't that bad, but when it comes to clothing, it's just not it. I used to work at Target. I've worked there for like 8 months, like in the clothing department. They had me folding clothes. It was the worst thing that I think I had ever experienced in my life. The people I worked with were okay. I think that my manager at the time didn't like me, and I don't know why, because I didn't do anything that would like make them not like me. Like I kind of just kept to myself, but it was just really awful, monotonous work. And then after the holidays, my hours were severely reduced, as were the other people that were like on the Softlines team with me. We just didn't really have any work to do. And when I would go there, I was just kind of standing around like a wall ornament, not doing a whole lot. So I quit. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I couldn't find any cozy pajamas at Target. And I even looked online at other retailers, and that just is not a thing that's available. Like they have stuff, but it's picked over and it's not in my size. I usually try to wear like a larger size than I am for pajamas just because like it's more comfortable that way, and sometimes some of it can like shrink in the laundry or whatever, but they didn't have anything in my size on the other retailers that I looked at. I did get a few comfortable pieces online from Kohl's though. I got like a couple of tops that are like Sherpa-ish, I think, and a pair of pajamas that's flannel, but they're like a shorts and t-shirt set, or like a shorts and button-down short sleeve set, because like they're still pretending to be wintry and flannel, but you know, they're not because it's shorts. I don't know. They looked cute. They were all on sale. It was in my size. I wish that like it was easier to find comfortable, cozy clothes, like fleece, whatever, this time of year, and that it wasn't only just available for the majority during the holiday season. Maybe I just missed the mark on this, but I'll have to look again when it becomes wintertime later in the year, this year, 2025, and see what we have going on. Because a lot of places now are like, oh, springtime, short sleeves, cotton. And it's like, no, it's still ridiculously cold here for the next few months. Like, I mean, growing up in Massachusetts, we've had April where we've gotten snow, like blizzards and stuff. Do you guys find that wherever you live, that like clothing can just be weird when it comes to stuff that's available in season versus after the fact? Like, for example, I was really trying to look for something that was on sale after season because it would have been on sale and I wouldn't have been paying full price. And they had cute stuff, but again, like none of it was in my size. And I can still fit into a lot of junior size clothing too. I think partially because I'm so short. Like a lot of women's stuff just looks big on me. I think it really just depends on the shirt and the cut of the thing and the pants and the whatever. Either way, I wish that I had more comfy like pajamas and lounge stuff. I do have a lot of comfortable lounge stuff. The last few positions that I've had for employment have been fully remote. I do also like not wear lounge stuff all the time. I do have a lot of nicer clothes that I will wear that I will just have on for the sake of being dressed in something nice. Like for example, I didn't really do anything today. However, I'm wearing a pair of jeans and a nice sweater, mainly because the fleece shirt that I was gonna put on today, because again, it's like 10 degrees out or whatever, was dirty. There was like some sort of dried something, some sort of stain that was on the bottom of it. I don't know how that happened or what it is exactly, because I never like spilled anything on it, but when I picked it up off of the hanger, it had like a stain on it. So that's gonna have to go in the laundry. I'm getting like too personal, I think, in this video. I'm just so pissed that I couldn't go on a villager hunt. I was really looking forward to doing a villager hunt hunt with you guys. I guess we're just gonna have to do that next time. I hope that we get a good camper. The next time that I play this island, resident services will be upgraded, and that means that we will hopefully be able to put the campsite together, and I hope that we get someone good. I'm gonna have to go through the list of smug villagers to see who I really want. I know it's really just up to chance. I do hope we get Hans. That would be great because, again, winter, at least we'll have 2 out of 6 because I'm gonna keep Rolled around. I don't know. I'm gonna also do this off camera. I'm going to go to Harv's and do the whole Photopia introduction thing so I can get all of their posters, because that's something that I never did with some of my villagers from the very beginning on my main island. I always forgot to go there and get their poster, and that's super easy. All you have to do is just call them in, and then you can just like send them home immediately to place them inside Photopia, and then you'll get the poster from them, and it'll be super easy. You can just like buy it from the Nook shopping thing. I also want to get their photos, but I don't know if I want to keep some of them around long enough for them to actually give me their photo, if you know what I mean. Like, if one of them asks to move, they're out. I'll just get their photo from a treasure island. I have a lot of ideas of what I want to do on this island in terms of like exterior and even like decorating my house and redoing the villagers' houses, but the inability now to do a hunt for these 3 plots has soured my mood a lot. In other news, I am reading a book. I finished my goal of reading 40 books for my Goodreads challenge in 2024, and I lowered my expectations for 2025. I now have 20 books on there. I'm pretty sure I can do that. We are now reading Ellie Haycock is Totally Normal by Gretchen Schreiber, and it is touted as a cross between The Breakfast Club and 5 Feet Apart. I've seen The Breakfast Club. I've not seen 5 Feet Apart, and I've not read 5 Feet Apart either. That's also on my list to read at some point. This is about a girl who has like a rare genetic disease. She's in high school, and it's also kind of loosely based on a true story that the author had to deal with at one point with her own medical stuff. So she has this genetic disease, and she feels like that the doctors don't listen to her, and everything is handled by her mom, and her mom like blogs constantly about her daughter's life and what she's going through and stuff for the internet, and that has like raised a lot of money for this charity that her mom started. So Ellie, the girl, the main character, she doesn't want to blend her life at home with her life at the hospital. The majority of this book, she's staying at like a care house, like a house that is part of the hospital, like for families and teens and whatever, while she is undergoing these treatments and seeing these doctors at a hospital that's like further from her hometown. And she doesn't want these 2 parts of her life to mix. And I kind of resonated with that a little bit, only because I have my friends who are sighted, and I also have my friends who are blind and low vision, because I myself am low vision. However, when I was younger, I was very much eager to mix the 2 groups, and my friends that did meet each other as part of those 2 groups got along very well. Some of them even dated each other. It was like a whole thing, but I get why she wouldn't want to mix the 2. It's a really good book in my opinion, and I think you guys should check it out. It's not super sad. However, there's a good look at disability and what kids go through and teens go through in the medical field that is different than like your average teen going through stuff for like regular high school or whatever. I've also been trying to work on a book myself. I took this course when I was in college as part of my communications minor, and it was writing for visual media. And at the end of the course, we had to write either act 1 of a screenplay or like an entire short play and pitch it to the class like on a pitch day. That was our final. I had been playing around with these characters that I've been writing for years, like in some fan stories and stuff that I've done for some fandoms a million years ago, and I decided to bring them into their own world. The book that I'm writing is not based on the project that I did for my college course, but it does use the same characters and a couple of the same themes. It's really slice of life, but also science fiction. I don't really want to give too much away because I don't really have the whole story in my head. I have most of it in like an outline. I've not been able to like take a lot of time to write and sit down and write, mainly because I feel like I lack inspiration a lot of the times, and I hit writer's block, and it sucks because like sometimes I'll just be hit with something that I want to write about, and I'll sit down and I'll bang out like a few pages. I wrote this prequel sort of like novella thing that takes place before the beginning of the book, and I'm at like about 50 pages for that right now. I'm not even done yet, and I'm thinking like maybe this should be the book instead, and I should just scrap my original idea and change it. I do have a friend who published 2 books of her own, and she actually started her own LLC, her own publishing company, so I'm hoping to collaborate more with her. She is somebody that I've known for like like the better part of my life. I eventually would like to publish this book that I'm working on, but we are nowhere near done here. Just like we're nowhere near done with this island. I am gonna go now with that. I will see you guys in the future in the next one. Next time we are playing on Kringle, we will have resident services upgraded. We will also go get our first camper and maybe do a villager hunt for like an empty plot. Either that or I'm gonna go to a treasure island and just get a dreamy that I thought about having originally, because I'm still really mad that the game didn't let me do my hunt for the first 3 villagers. I guess I know the next time I decide to start a new island, that if I want to get the first 3 house plots done, I should do the hunting before I actually build the house plots. I've only really been playing this island while I am recording gameplay footage on it. I haven't actually been like doing anything off camera on it, except for going to some treasure islands and getting stuff. Like I said, that is it for this today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave any comments, feedback, and suggestions down below, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.